Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, March 22nd, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We're in March Madness, baby. Men's Basketball Championship, South Region. Second round, number 9 Creighton Bluejays versus the number 1 Auburn Tigers. Let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get settled in for a little bit of March Madness. Let's get it. And it took a little minute to get it going, but again, Creighton, Auburn, Johnny Broom, I see you. Can't wait to be able to see what kind of electricity we get in this matchup here tonight. And hopefully we end up having a good one here. STL starting us off on a good note. $2 holla, what's going on? Oh, dog, go Tigers. Anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise, let me know, and I got you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang. $2, 98 to go to hit the goal. Appreciate you. And let me get settled in here, get all the screens going. And obviously Auburn has to start off a little bit faster than they did in the first round. And I think any, college basketball fan of any team that is ranked, in a 1 seed or a 2 seed, just even watching the earlier matchups today, if you're going to come out and you come out a little flat, like St. John's, even as a 2 seed, you could get upset. And again, St. John's went down earlier today. Auburn is good enough to make the championship. Auburn is good enough to make the Final Four. But again, they need to clean up some of those mistakes that they had going into the tourney. But again, as long as they don't start off slow, they should end up having a very good chance to get the job done. That man in the building, what's good? Ended up watching the Xfinity race there at Homestead, and Kyle Larson led almost every lap, and I thought he was going to end up winning that race as well, but we had a late caution, and it went into overtime, and Justin Allgaier kind of came out of nowhere and ended up getting the dub. So I know Larson is incredibly disappointed, but a big win for Justin Allgaier, and obviously with you-know-who, Dale Earnhardt and his team. I see you. Go over some of the scores at the moment. So we got number 4 Texas A&M up 61-57 over number 5 Michigan. That one could go either way. 5 and 4 seeds, very competitive. You have Drake down by 7 at half to Texas Tech. Texas Tech is ranked 3rd, Drake 11th. A big upset win for Arkansas, a 10 seed beating number 2 St. John's, 75-66. And that's the thing that Auburn wants to make sure that they're keeping an eye on. You want to make sure you're off to a fast start, and that way you don't end up being the same result and being out of the tourney like St. John's as a 2 seed. And then obviously the first matchup of the day, McNeese and the 12 seed, obviously winning their first matchup, but then obviously reality hit, and then they ended up playing number 4 Purdue, and then they ended up losing 76-62. So we have this matchup, number 9 Creighton versus number 1 Auburn. Then we have number 6 BYU versus number 3 Wisconsin. Should be pretty close. Number 8 Gonzaga versus number 1 Houston. That one should be interesting. And then at the end of the night, we're capping it off with number 7 UCLA versus number 2 Tennessee. We'll see where it goes with the rest of the games here. Shout out to my Oregon Ducks taking care of business last night, beating the brakes off of Liberty very easily, and I'm hoping that we can end up doing the same thing, obviously on the weekend. But we'll kind of have to wait and see how it all plays out. But definitely seeing Oregon win the way that they did, 81-52. I think that they are going to have a good chance against Arizona on Sunday. And then we'll be doing the NASCAR Cup Series tomorrow, and then we'll be live at noon, obviously, and the race will be on FS1 there at Miami for Homestead. Yeah, Oregon won big. They actually won by a little bit more than I was expecting. I figured it, that we already had 2 12 seeds that won, so I didn't think we would have a third one. I was right. 81-52 final. And it was pretty much over within the first couple minutes. You could tell, we got a couple big, solid players, especially if our best player is a post. And we'll see if Biddle can, keep it moving as we move forward in the tourney. They're in the building. What's good? Daniel in the building. What's good? And again, I had a choice. I could have done the, Xfinity race, but I figured I would, spend a little bit more time with Paisley and then watch the race. And then, doing this pretty much for you, Nat, man. I mean, again, I could have chose another matchup later in the day. I think that Houston matchup is pretty intriguing as well against Gonzaga. But I figured, I don't want, Auburn to, let's say, lose, and then we don't have a chance to do a game for you since that's your favorite team. So I figured that I would do you a solid and do Auburn. They are the number one team in the land, and hopefully they can show that, after this game is over, that they are the real deal Holyfield. Denver Jones, Miles Kelly, Chad Baker Mazzara, Johnny Broom, and Dylan Cardwell for the Auburn Tigers. Stephen Ashworth, Jemiah Neal, Jason Green, Jackson McAndrew, and Ryan Kalkenbrenner, who's on the thumb as well for the Creighton Bluejays. So I had to give you the best two players on the team for their respective teams, and we'll see where it goes, baby. It was a little tough finding images, of college football stars earlier in the year, and college basketball is even harder to be able to format. But again, I'm happy that I was able to find some images rather than just do the logos. Let's go, baby. Chad Baker Mazzara with the jumper, assisted by Denver Jones. Okay, baby, let's go. And Oregon played Creighton last year when I did the stream. And so I kind of am pretty familiar with Creighton. They're always going to be kind of an underdog. But again, as long as Auburn comes out with some intensity and doesn't just kind of lollygag, 1 versus 16, you can maybe do that. But again, you're not going to be able to lollygag and just kind of take it easy and go through the motions against Creighton. Because if you do, you're going to have the same result as St. John's had earlier today, and that's an L. At the top of the key, Creighton working a little pick and roll. Wow, air ball. Wow. Not a good start for Creighton with a big air ball in the beginning of the matchup. Floater. There you go, with the left. I like that, baby. An early 6-2 lead for Creighton. Auburn's defense has to be fantastic tonight. They got to out-rebound Creighton, and they have to make free throws. We got man-to-man defense here for Auburn starting off. Little pick and roll. Baseline. Good help defense there by Auburn, but you're leaving the open three. Bank, wow, unbelievable. Kalkenbrenner, you got Johnny Broom on one side, but you got Kalkenbrenner on the other, and both are athletes, and they're going to be the reason that their teams win or lose here tonight. Facts. Johnny Broom, front rim. Got to have a little bit more touch on your shots, baby. Let's go. Wow, another deep three. Okay, Blue Jays, I see you. I don't really know, who is going to end up coming out, of this tourney. I feel that, that's the first time that we've had a lot of the top seeds not get eliminated, in the first couple days since like 2017. So, I mean, it's more than likely going to be one of the powerhouse teams, but I wouldn't be shocked if we end up having a team that's, 4 through 8, in seeding, making the Final Four. I don't think you're going to get a lot of those. You should get some 1 seeds and some 2 seeds, but there might be a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8. Nice three from the outside. 7-6 Tigers. Floater in and out and good. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall if we hit the algorithm, and obviously 100 in the donos. We're at 2 so far, 98 to go. Got to make that shot off the glass. Nice offensive board by the Tigers there. I like that, baby. Cardwell. Let's go. Broom with the good defense at the top. The three party. Janai Broom. All right, we need 5 more likes to get to 10. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 3 more to get to 10, 13 more to hit the algorithm. Little floater, in and out, no good. And it feels like Creighton is going to definitely be more of an outside team than an inside team. But if they're going to win this game against Auburn, they're going to have to attack the paint and try to get Broom in foul trouble. Facts. Great defense, suffocating defense there by Auburn. And that anytime you can get a shot clock violation in any time of the game, it's huge. It'll definitely inspire Uncle Mo to come out. And again, I like that stifling defense there by Auburn early on with the timeout. Well, anytime you end up getting a certain amount of likes, you have people obviously in the comments that are going to comment and throw donos. But once you can get, to 20 likes and above, and if you can do that at a very rapid pace early on, it'll hit you into the algorithm of YouTube. So when people are searching, for certain games and certain things, you have a better chance of being recommended to people that are browsing on YouTube that aren't necessarily your followers. And then if you can hit the algorithm and get recommended from one group of people to another group of people, that's how you end up going from having 10 people in the room to 50 people in the room to 150 in the room to 500 in the room to 1,000 in the room. And sometimes it can happen in a matter of seconds or minutes. So again, we've had that opportunity happen, with NASCAR and obviously with the Oregon Ducks, Seattle Mariners. So you don't really know when it's going to happen, but it's always good to try to get to that 20 like number as soon as you can. And if you can get there quickly, you can get into that algorithm into YouTube a little bit faster rather than, just being at 5 or 8 or 10, likes and kind of waiting to get to that point. That's why it's so important, because you never know when the algorithm will hit. Sometimes it'll even hit before you get to 20 likes, depending on how many people are doing, that particular event. And it kind of depends if YouTube likes you, through their algorithm and their, computer process and whatnot. So they definitely have more favoritism, for certain channels than others, but it's just about getting the product out there to new faces, as well as your regular subscribers, if that makes sense. Megan in the building, what's good? The good Xfinity race today. I kind of feel bad for Kyle Larson though, because he was doing so well. And if you didn't have a wreck late, with that caution, he would have won, and he would have had a good chance to win tomorrow for the trifecta. But it's tough. Anytime you end up having a caution late, things can get out of hand if you don't have a good restart, and that's what happened. And that's to Justin Allgaier, though. That's one of my favorite drivers in the Xfinity, and he shouldn't have had any chance. I mean, he was in the back of the race for a majority of the day, but right place at right time. And anyone that watches racing understands that if you have a caution late, if you're in first, you hate it. But if you're in second, third, fourth, fifth, you have a chance to win. And that's exactly what happened. Good start here for the Blue Jays, up 12-10 on Auburn. Let's see what kind of offense they run if they switch to a zone at any point. Corner 3 is good. There you go. Ooh. Nice bucket there with the jumper from Creighton. Still sticking to man here. 3 in and out, no good. I don't know why Auburn's not attacking the paint. You don't need to play Creighton's game. You got to play your game. Little crossover, Hezzy. Fadeaway jumper, in and out, no good. Nice rebound there by the Tigers. Push. Ooh, nice crossover. In and out, no good. Yeah, but you can definitely tell the patience really isn't there. Front rim with that hook shot, no good. And Broom has been a little short. It has to have a little bit more touch, with that shot put approach. Corner 3. Whoa. Okay, Creighton, I see you. They came to play today. I mean, we've seen St. John's go down as a 2 seed. So, again, no one is safe, especially in March Madness. Doesn't matter if you're a 1 or a 2. You don't really expect 1 or 2 seeds to lose early in the first couple days of the tourney, but it does happen. Little Hezzy 3. Ooh, there you go. Bang. (13-12) Tigers. Let's see what Creighton does here next. A little pick and roll. Try to do a little half-court trap. There we go. Get some good spacing out there. Still playing one-on-one, man-to-man. Go down low. Kalkenbrenner is there. And a good defensive poke away there by the Tigers. Oh, nice steal. Push. Oh, deep 3. Rejected. Swing it. Little pick and roll. And dribbled off his leg. Turned over. Come on, Creighton. You got to be better than that. We're knotted up at 15. Cardwell with the foul. Corner elbow 3 is good. McAndrew with those deep 3s there for Creighton. See if Auburn has an answer. 3 seconds. I don't know why that wasn't called. We're knotted up at 15 here. Creighton a little bit outside, Auburn inside, but there's been some kind of wild, shots there by Auburn. They need to be a little bit more patient, especially as a 1 seed. If you're supposed to be the best team, in the land, you need to act like it. Traveling. Pettiford, I see you. Freshman with two deep 3s. A little bit of a commercial break. Great game so far. And I think you knew that it was going to be good. Again, if I didn't do this game, I was thinking about doing Gonzaga and Houston. And I think that's going to be equally as close as this game as well. Just like Michigan and A&M is right now, 71-70. Some games, in the first couple days were boring as hell. They were blowouts, and it wasn't even worth watching on some of the matchups. But there has, been a few matchups that have surprised. We've had some upsets, but obviously number 10 Arkansas beating number 2 St. John's. That shouldn't have happened. But again, it shows you if you don't bring your A game, and you get a little cocky and you get a little bit comfortable, based off your number next to your team name, other teams, they're not going to care. They're just happy to be in the tourney, and, they would love to be able to upset a 1 or 2 seed anytime they get a chance. And I feel bad for St. John's. I think a lot of people had them in their brackets going much further. I don't think a lot of people had them losing in this particular round. But again, it shows you how important it is, to be smart, to defend, and again, not to shoot too many threes. Again, the Steph Curry influence, getting everyone to shoot threes in this younger generation has carried over not only in the NBA, but also in high school and in college hoops as well. Facts. Ah, nice. What did you get? Your vest? You already got the hat, right? The hat you already got, but you need to get the vest now, or you got the vest? Ah, the t-shirt. Nice. And we'll be doing NASCAR Cup Series tomorrow at noon. And then on Monday, Monday Night Raw will be early at 1 p.m., but that'll probably be a little too early. I'll take a look to see what else we got on the slate, and we'll probably do something else. I'll watch Raw with Paisley and probably Odin there in New York. And then we'll figure out something else that we can do where more people will be able to hang out with us on a Monday afternoon/evening. Oh, nice. Appreciate you, Sarah. Every dollar counts. And, again, Paisley has been able to get rewarded by people like yourself and others that have, done the Cash App and whatnot. I appreciate you very, very much. Every dollar counts. And again, it's going to help out me and Paisley tremendously. And plus, if I have to give her less food and, a few more, options for toys and whatnot to keep her busy, like the last ball that I ended up getting, it's like one of the most expensive, balls at Petco. One single ball was like $14. And I almost it's like $13.50. But I started to kind of second guess myself. Did I make the right choice? But after taking it home, the smell on it is amazing. It's got like kind of a cinnamon, sugary smell. It's super squishy, so she can chew on it. And then it even has holes on the side where I can put treats inside, even though I haven't done that yet to keep her more preoccupied. But it's probably the best single ball toy, and I've bought many, a lot of the, Chuck It brands, but this one is a different brand, and it's awesome. Again, she's been gnawing at it and having a good time, so I appreciate that, Sarah, very, very much. Sarah with a tenner. And we can get some Iowa Hawkeyes for the women's as well. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And it's just nice to be able to see Oregon do their thing. And I'm happy that Iowa is able to do the thing as well. 1915 Auburn. And it's awesome to be able to see the Oregon women's winning in overtime 77-73 over Vandy. And we beat the brakes off of Liberty yesterday, which was awesome as well. I'm not sure if anyone anticipated us winning by almost 30, but again, you could kind of tell the vibe and the aura of the game, with our guy Biddle at center and everyone that we have. I mean, that game was already over within the first 5 to 10 minutes. So I got you. No worries, Megan. Free throw is good. All defensive team here for Jones. Free throw is good. 19-15 Auburn. Let's go. Auburn with the full court press, but Creighton well coached. to be able to get out of here. And Kalkenbrenner has got to be a factor. Again, you have a guy like that. You got to make sure you're not, avoiding your best player. Give him the rock. Down low, good defense there by Auburn. But Broom and Kalkenbrenner are huge. Like Biddle for Oregon, you want to use your big men, especially if they're talented. Jumper, in and out, no good. Push. Corner three, wide open, decides to go baseline. And a foul. Nice hard foul, but a nice hard take there by Creighton. Oh, double-double, nice. I haven't really been paying too much attention to the women's side compared to the men's. Anything big happening on the women's side, Sarah? Upsets-wise? And did you fill out a bracket for the women's? Who do you have going to the Final Four for the women's? Did you make a bracket for that? I know you did one for the men's. And obviously, most people are going to be, going for Duke, Auburn or Florida. That is the big three. Most people assume for the men's that it would be shocking if one of those three teams does not win at all. And then as far as the women's, Sarah or a few others in the room may be able to fill us in. Free throw. In and out, no good. Nice rebound there by the Tigers. 19-18 Auburn. Creighton still playing disciplined man-to-man. Too many threes here for Auburn. Attack the paint, and then a reach-in foul there by Creighton. Ashworth is the guilty party. Oh, and the winner of Michigan and A&M, yeah, like I said, that's going to be a tough matchup, especially if Michigan ends up winning that game. We're more than halfway through here in the first half. Poke away. Nice stifling defense there by Auburn. Good weak side defense, help side defense there for the Tigers. Yeah, well, USC should be winning a lot of games since they have the best player, in the world, women's wise. So, with Juju Watkins, big three at the top of the key. Wow. Six for 9 from deep. Compared to Creighton, 0 for 3. They got to pick it up. Kalkenbrenner with the foul. Nice pass. What a dime. Nice catch and finish there by the Tigers. Bruce Pearl, I see you, my guy. Very intelligent coach. He has been around the block. And again, definitely his persona has rubbed off on this Tiger team. Good defense here by Auburn. Nice backdoor cut with the layup is good. Good vision there by Creighton. Ashworth with that layup. Fade away. Off the glass, and it rolls in. Good. 25-23, Creighton. Tried to force the foul there. Go up. There you go. Kalkenbrenner with the rebound dunk and the stuff. He is long and he is lanky. 4 offensive boards for the Tigers, 1 for Creighton. Creighton's an outside team. Auburn is a little bit of both, inside and outside. But again, if they get a little bit more disciplined and start going inside more, they can pull away. But again, they have been shooting from deep with a pretty good percentage to start off. Another 3 from Creighton. Wow. Just 3 after 3 after 3. Ashworth with 11 points, almost half of the points coming from Ashworth alone. 3 for 4 from deep. Kind of has a little Bobby Hurley kind of look to him. You can tell Ashworth is a scrappy player for Creighton. Give him the ball. Foul on Ashworth there with the reach in. Let's see if we can get some Lucy Olsons there for Iowa. And one of her famous quotes when she came in from Nova there, Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark. I'm not going to try to be her. And every individual, I think, in the country knows that as well. You know, Caitlin Clark is a true one of one. See if I can throw Caitlin Clark up here for you real quick, too, as well. (25-23) Creighton. Good game here so far. Appreciate you, Sarah. Basketball definitely was special, and it shows you, you know, like those special type of players, you know, don't come around that often. Oh, cool. Outfit is starting to come together very nicely for your Back to the Future musical that you're going to be going to at a few months coming up. You got the hat, you got the vest, you got, you know, you're getting all the pieces lined up. It looks good, looking good. Michael J. Fox would be proud. All right, 25-23. Less than 7 minutes to go. Little pick and roll here for Creighton. And Ashworth has been the man. Nice corner three front rim, in and out, no good. And again, the offense is running through Ashworth, but again, you want to make sure you're going to Kalkenbrenner as well when he's in. Janai Broom down low with the left, and a reach-in foul by Creighton. Oh, t-shirt painted that to look that way. Very cool. .9 fouls committed this season in Division I. That's the fewest. Up and under, no good, and a late whistle. Oh, I don't know about that. Fans for Creighton are booing there on that call. I'm not sure if that was a foul there on Ryan Kalkenbrenner there. Let's see again. I mean, he goes down. Oh, yeah, it was a foul. It was a foul. Yeah. Nice job by Dylan, being able to pump fake and do a little hezzy and go up. And anytime you can get the big man in foul trouble, that'll definitely help out. Same thing, on the opposite end. Getting Broom in foul trouble early on would definitely be a key to try to pull away a little bit here in the first half. Free throw by Cardwell, both misses. Got to make your free throws, Auburn, if you want to win. And if you end up losing by 10 or less, we'll be looking at the free throws at the end, and that might be the difference. Ashworth playing like Bobby Hurley out there. I like what I see out of him. Green with the fadeaway. In and out, no good. And it looks like Michigan might be pulling away out of A&M, up by 5. Oh, they were up by 5. Still up by 5. 82-77. And now since Kalkenbrenner is out there for Creighton, Auburn should attack the inside. They continue to shoot threes. Broom with the offensive board. Go inside. There you go. With the left, and it with a little bit of touch finally drops. Nice job by Broom. 5 offensive boards for the Tigers. Only 1 for Creighton. Tip ball. Bang! Big 3. And great unselfishness out of Ashworth. McAndrew, the freshman, with 3 threes, keeping him in this game. 28-28. Not 29-28. Auburn now. Floater. Bang is good. And then a little bit of an errant pass there on Creighton's end. Turnover. Blue Jays. Broom, Cardwell, Baker, Jones, Kelly. 29-28 with a few minutes to go before the first half. Fun game, competitive too. Broom. Oh, the only thing I have against Broom, that man, he shoots too much with a shot put. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know how he's going to be in the NBA, with a shot put approach. Baker Mazzara and the rebound dunk. Big fella. Throw it down. But that's really the thing, because if you look at a lot of his shots, it's a lot of hook shots and a lot of front rim, but it's like, it's not really with touch. He kind of shot puts it. And again, there's not very many guys in the NBA that can shot put and be successful, But nice job by Cardwell with that rebound dunk. 29-28 Tigers. And And it's not like Broome is a bad player. He's like, the best player on the team. And again, a good big guy down low. I just would love to be able to see him with a little up and under and some post moves and a little bit of touch. But everything just kind of seems like a shot put, and I think that's a big reason why he gets a lot of front rim on a lot of his shots. 4:46 left in the first, 29-28 Tigers. Michigan's lead down to 3 over A&M. And Drake hanging around Texas Tech, only down by 9, but 8 minutes to go. BYU, Wisconsin in 14 minutes, and then in about an hour, I think might be the best one of tonight's matchups, Gonzaga and Houston. And then we got UCLA and Tennessee that should battle it out at the end of the night as well. And I will be doing, NASCAR Cup Series there at Homestead on Miami Speedway, but tomorrow's matchups are pretty good. And if I wasn't doing NASCAR, I definitely would be doing Oregon and Arizona for the last game of the night at 6:40. So I guess depending on how long the race goes, maybe we'll double dip and maybe I'll do Oregon tomorrow night. So, because who knows how long Oregon's going to be in the tourney, and I want to make sure I try to do at least one Oregon game while we're still in it. So. But Creighton doing a good job on Broome so far, only 1 for 5 shooting, but 5 rebounds, 2 points, no assists. And at some point, we'll see if that opens up in the second half. Ten for 20 shooting for Creighton, 12 for 29, 8 for 13 for deep for Creighton, only 3 for 9 for Auburn. Second chance points and points in the paint dominated by Auburn. But again, Ashworth and company, if you could end up having a good percentage from 3 with McAndrew, the freshman, and Ashworth looking like a young Bobby Hurley out there, you're going to have a chance in this game. Crazy to see Jimmy Jackson there. I remember watching him back when I was a kid, in college and in the pros. Kalkenbrenner, wild shot, air ball, and turnover, Blue Jays. You got to be more productive, Kalkenbrenner, if you're going to be doing a shot like that. Same thing with Broome. They're way too talented to settle. Captain in the building. What's good, brother? Why is it Kalkenbrenner don't spin, to the inside? Again, when you get exposed, when you primarily only use one hand, again, it definitely limits what you can do down low in the post. Ashworth, Kalkenbrenner, little two-man game. Neal, bang! Nice jumper there. Jumper. In and out, no good. Ashworth with the rebound. Oh, bad pass there. And that's the official TV timeout. Can't wait till Thursday. Opening day. And And we got the last game of the night, Athletics and Mariners on at 7:10 on Thursday night. Logan Gilbert going to start off getting that dub over Severino. But I do think the A's are going to be better than people anticipate, going into the year. Yeah, they're no longer Oakland. Again, they're not going to be playing in their own building and whatnot, own stadium. But I definitely think with some of the players that they have, like Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker, they showed flashes. And, the Angels, feel like they're going in the wrong direction. We'll see how good the Astros and the Rangers are going to be. But I do feel that the A's will be competitive. Not good enough, more than likely, to make the playoffs, but I think that they'll be better than last year, and it'll be a little bit harder of a test. But hopefully we can get the dub with Logan Gilbert on Thursday evening. Can't wait. Seems like it's been forever for us to wait for baseball to start, and once that starts, we'll be doing a lot of Mariners. I'll still try to sprinkle in some of these other events, throughout the week, but it will be, dominated primarily by the Mariners with a few other things as well. 30-29, Creighton. Shout out to the Blazers for beating the Nuggets. Yeah, they didn't have Joker last night, but remember how far back the Blazers were? We're only 2 games back from the play-in. It's Dallas is ahead of us. And then you got Phoenix, and that's the last team at 10. So I definitely think the Blazers, if you would have asked me a month or two ago, would you guys be able to get to the 10 seed, when you're sitting at 13 or 14, I'd probably say no. But the way that they've turned their season around, it's kind of looking like, yeah, they're going to get that 10 seed or 9 seed by the time the season ends. And, who knows what could happen if they end up getting in. I don't expect them to go on some deep run, but, to actually make it in, rather than, being just straight lottery team. Obviously everyone would love to have Cooper Flag on, their favorite team, but knowing the Blazers, we wouldn't even be able to get them anyways. Even if we had a billion ping pong balls, it wouldn't bounce in our favor. 32-31, Creighton. Michigan pulling away from A&M. That's what I figured. And the winner of this game will play Michigan, and that'll be a battle. I don't know what that was by Broom. Fast break off the glass is good. Shot selection for Auburn isn't very good. I don't know. They don't really look like a 1 seed to me, when you're watching them. And again, Creighton is a better opponent than they had in the first round, but I don't know. They don't really give off like aura and swag vibes to me. It's like you can be a 1 seed and whatnot. And again, I know things are going to be up for grabs with Duke and Florida and a few of the others. And still they're going to be one of the better teams out of all the teams in the tourney. But I don't know. I don't know. I think I need to feel a little bit more of Bruce Pearl's energy out there. A little lackadaisical, going through the motions, and shot selection not very good, against a team like this. And if you continue to play, Creighton's game, you're going to lose. Things need to definitely improve in the second half, and I would assume Bruce Pearl will have them coached up once they go into halftime. 35-34, Tigers. Nice up and under layup is good. 35-34 Auburn. Yeah, I mean, we know the Cavs have a great record, but does anyone really believe that they can beat Boston in a 7-game series if those were the 2 teams in the East Final? Not really. You might be able to win 1 or 2 games, but I don't think anyone is going to take Cleveland over Boston. even if Cleveland has a better record, in the regular season when it comes to playoff time, I don't think, can you really trust Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland compared to everyone that they have on Boston? Tatum, Brown, Derek White, Pritchard, Horford. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And then if they get Porzingis healthy, I don't see the depth from the Cavs. They have a couple players, but they lack depth, and that will be the reason why they probably don't make it, in the NBA Finals. They can make the East Finals, but the NBA Finals, different story. Kalkenbrenner looks like he's out of shape out there. (37-35) Creighton. And as good as, Denver is and the Lakers are and the Grizzlies, I don't see anybody beating OKC either. To me, OKC is the best team in the NBA. They've been the best team in the NBA. They're going to win the NBA Finals. SGA will get the MVP. And again, Boston might be like the team that's, the team that could match up the best, but they still haven't been able to beat OKC this year in the regular season. So, I'm not saying that OKC would sweep Boston in the finals. That wouldn't happen. But OKC could win in 5, if things ended up going their way. But realistically, it would probably be like OKC in 6. Unless Boston went crazy and ended up stealing a couple games early on, and then it could go to, Celtics or OKC in 7, which is also possible this year. But I just wanted to be able to see Boston match up, during the regular. But if you can't beat them in the regular season, it's going to be tough to be able to beat them in the finals. And we are at halftime, 37-35 Creighton. And again, not as bad of an approach, with the St. John's matchup. But again, we may not see Auburn, Florida, or Duke in the Final Four, or in the championship. It just kind of feels like, you're going to get a few teams that are highly ranked that are going to get there. But there could be some surprises this year as well. But not the greatest first half for Johni Broome. Kind of a shitty first half, if I'm being honest. You're supposed to be one of the best players in the country, and shot putting. You can rebound and whatnot, but 0 for 2 from deep. Why are you shooting threes? You're a big man. You're not Steph Curry. 2 from 8 from the field. A lot of shot puts. I do like the 7 rebounds, but Ashworth right here has really been setting the tempo with McAndrews, the freshman. Ashworth with 11, McAndrews with 12. If you're Auburn right now, you're not really too worried, right? You're not too worried, but you have to be concerned. Because again, that slow start that they had in the first round, it was a little alarming. And again, if you're a 1 seed, you got to be able to act like a 1 seed, and start blowing teams out. And if you're letting teams hang around, there's going to be a chance that you're going to get knocked off before you get to the Final Four or the championship. David, nobody cares about Brandon Graham, bro. Nobody cares. You only care because you're an Eagle fan. No, we're not in football season. If you want to put Brandon Graham in the Ring of Honor, go ahead. But I don't think anyone really cares. Maybe you, Eagles fans. It's not, it's not that big of a deal, my guy. There's a lot more players that are more deserving than him. Michigan ended up winning 91-79. Next matchup of BYU Wisconsin is starting now. Then you got Gonzaga and Houston in 40 minutes. I'll flip that on once we get to the end of this game. And then you got UCLA, Tennessee. They're at 6:40 Pacific. Shout out to my boy Julio Rodriguez homering today. Nice for us to be able to get a win, even though it's still spring training action. But we are getting closer to the regular season on Thursday. So anytime you can end up winning, you'll take it. 14-1 over the White Sox. We'll take that. Yeah, kind of disappointed that they didn't actually broadcast. I was hoping that they would broadcast more of the games so I could do a little bit more, even though that, knowing that they don't count for the, regular season win total, but just to see some of the, young farm guys and whatnot. But unfortunately, a lot of them are not televised. But at least for us, Thursday's right around the corner, and we'll be able to do a lot of Mariners, and I'm definitely excited about doing some of the other teams as well. We'll sprinkle in a few Dodger streams for my dad, and if the Mariners and Dodgers have the day off, then I may end up doing one of your guys' favorite teams, whoever that may be. McAndrew and Ashworth holding it down. And again, like I mentioned, to Natman and a lot of the others, you don't want to be playing your worst ball going into the tourney, because if you end up losing games right before you get into the tourney, even if you're a 1 seed, it's not a good look. Bad habits get picked up. And, again, it's always better to go into the tourney hot, rather than kind of stumble your way into the tourney. And that's why I feel that I don't think Auburn's going to win it all. Hopefully they win tonight, but if they keep playing the way that they've been playing, they're not going to win this game. I'm not saying that they don't deserve a 1 seed, but I don't know. It seems like Florida and Duke might be a little stronger than Auburn. Again, and stumbling and losing, 2-3 games late was not ideal. Free throws really haven't been that much of a factor early on, but shot selection for me, it's not the greatest, there for Auburn. But we'll see if Bruce Pearl can, light a fire into some of these guys. But again, if they can still connect from deep, Creighton can definitely win this game with McAndrew and Ashworth. So we'll see if Auburn can make the proper adjustments. If not, they might be going down here tonight. Juju with Jaden Daniels and the mama. Jaden Daniels is, smart. Mom's not going to let him try to get, taking advantage of someone just trying to get a get rich, quick type of scheme and whatnot. So that's why there's a difference between guys like Jaden Daniels and Tyreek Hill. Know the difference. But at least we have a good one here so far, 37-35 at half, but definitely have some concerns there for the Tigers. David with the tour. What do you want to do for a photo? You want Brandon Graham or do you want someone else? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $2 holla. We're at 14. 86 to go. I got all the camera angles. You want the right side. You want to zoom in. You want this angle. I got all the angles. Oh, yeah. I mean, Auburn should win this game. I mean, if you're a 1 seed, you know. But again, you know, kind of stumbling into the tourney is always a recipe for disaster. You know, you're only down by 2, but let's be honest. If you guys played, you know, the ball that you guys were playing earlier in the year, you guys would be up by 10, you know, or more, you know, not down by 2, you know, and it's not like Creighton is a bad team, but again, you know, Broom not being efficient. You guys are taking too many threes, you know, the spacing needs to be a little bit better. And again, obviously 3-point defense and closing out, boxing out needs to be better, you know, as well. And, you know, they obviously are shooting the rock well, you know, with McAndrews and Ashworth. If those guys weren't shooting as well, you probably would have a 6 to 8 point lead, even with that being said, you know. But again, if they're going to be hot from deep and that continues to be that way, adjustments better be made, or it might end up being an early exit. So. Now, Arkansas beating St. John's, that's a huge win. And if you're St. John's, I mean, you probably can't even believe that happened. You're probably sitting there right now like, dude, we went 31-5. How the hell did we lose by 9? But wow, they held them to under 30%. And McNeese as a 12 seed won, as that first big upset. But then when you end up playing someone that is much better than you in Purdue, you get a harsh reality. And they were getting fucking stomped early on. And it's kind of surprising McNeese actually made it kind of respectable at the end. But Purdue was putting the mollywop on them. I mean, they're right there in the highlight. As you can see, they're up by 20 with 3 minutes to go. Well, you better hope so. That's your team, not mine. So you better hope so. Because that would not be good for a lot of people's brackets, Auburn losing this early. But, as an Auburn fan, you can't be really that happy with what you saw, at least early on. But again, 2 points is definitely something that can be made up, but you got nobody in double digits. We'll find out. All right, what do we got here? National League leader predictions. Average, Luis Arise. That's the modern-day Ichiro. No surprise there. Home run, Shohei Ohtani. No surprise there. Stolen bases, Ellie De La Cruz. No surprise there. ERA and Ks. Paul Skeens, his rookie card for his MLB debut patch. An auto 1/1 just went for $1.1 million. PSA 10, auto grade 10, and a Dick's Sporting Goods in Pittsburgh bought it. I thought maybe Livy Dunn was going to try to get it, but she got outbid. And then you got saves, Edwin Diaz for the Mets. I could see that as long as Edwin stays healthy. American League leader predictions. Average, Bobby Witt Jr. I like that. Home runs, Aaron Judge. I like that. Stolen bases, Bobby Witt Jr. I like that. But maybe it could be someone else. I'm hoping someone like Julio. ERA, Tariq Skubal. K's, Tariq Skubal. Don't disagree with that either. And then saves, Emmanuel Clase from the Guardians. Those are really accurate. I mean, I could definitely see, those things happening for sure. Normally when I see those things from like MLB or, people doing predictions, it's fucking way off. But that one from MLB is pretty fucking spot on. But again, you don't really know if guys are going to be able to be injured or not and whatnot. But I like those projections there. I definitely see those happening. Pretty accurate. I mean, obviously there's a few that could, go to someone else, but the people that they selected should be like in the top 2 in the category, maybe as low as 3, but they should be up there, unless someone has like a magical season, someone playing better than Bobby Witt or, someone, for some weird reason getting more home runs than Judge or Ohtani. It would be hard, but it could be possible. You never know. And then with Skubal and Skeens, we assume that those are going to be 2 of the 3 best. It was Skeens and Skubal and Sale last year, but there might be someone else that joins that party. It's going to be fun, and I already got the tickets for 4th of July for Pittsburgh, so fingers crossed I get Logan Gilbert, Paul Skeens, or I get Brian Wu, Paul Skeens, and I will be so excited if it falls when Skeens actually pitches in Seattle, but if not, I'm still going to have a great time. But I'm definitely going to be trying to get a Skeens ball for sure. The Last of Us is going to be incredible. Can't wait for that. You is going to be coming up here pretty soon. The Last of Us. Get Stranger Things. There's going to be a lot of good quality programming coming up here within the next few months. Cardinals have any chance of making the playoffs this year, or do you think it's going to be another hard year? Yeah, I mean, especially in that division too, it's very tough, because at any point you could have 3 or 4 teams, within a win or two of each other. So it's definitely very, very competitive in that particular division. Bozo clown ass, huh? Yeah. We got some bozo clown asses on fucking the Mariners, but hopefully, hopefully they'll play better this year than they did last year, or they'll be, not on our team next year. But we'll see. Oh, Jim Jackson. Brian Anderson, he's got a good voice for college hoops. All right, baby, here we go. A very fun, competitive first half. Creighton has a 9 seed with a 2-point lead on number 1 Auburn. Most people have Auburn, Duke, and Florida in the Final Four, or making it to the championship. Let's see if the Tigers can rebound from that lackluster first half. Floater? Wow, they tried to go for an oop there. Alkenbrenner, but he wasn't ready for it. He's kind of loppy out there, though. That's, not every 6'10" to 7-foot player is going to be smooth out there. Big 3 at the top of the key. See if they run any kind of pick and rolls here for the Blue Jays. 21-3 when leading at half. 15-9 all time in the tourney. But they're only up 2, so it's not like Creighton's up 12, going into the second half, which is good for Auburn's sake. Good defense there, and a late whistle. Yeah, and I like Charles Barkley. I feel like, a a lot of people would try to make fun of him from back in the day and whatnot, but if you actually listen, to his commentary, he's always a person that, is incredibly intelligent and gives, his picks on what he thinks at that moment. He never tries to, make a pick that he knows that isn't going to, be a relevant pick. He's not like a Stephen A, where he's like a personality. He knows ball. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Again, if you went back and watched what he would, do in college and in the pros, it's like, people always see him kidding around with Shaq, on inside the NBA, but I don't think really the younger generation realizes like how fucking good Charles Barkley is and was, when he was playing. Facts. And if he ends up being wrong in a prediction, at least he threw out a prediction that he thought that was going to be true, not something that he's just making up for the network, or just to try to argue with someone, and I can respect that. I like Barkley a lot. Deep three, airballed, go up. Nice offensive rebound there. And that little hook shot is good. 43-40 Tigers. I think we need more, commentators that are going to be real, rather than being an entertainer. Again, nobody likes to have these debates where, nothing is relevant. Like how long are we going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys are going to go to the Super Bowl and win when they have like the biggest streak of not being, in the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl out of any team in the NFC. They're dead last. It's like, you can say, oh, they used to be America's team, but they haven't been relevant in years and years and years. And, I guess it just depends if you want to waste your time or not. Elbow three is good. And the Tigers are starting to heat up. Okay. They didn't really shoot the three ball deep with good accuracy in the first half, but they're on point here in the second. 43-40 Auburn. And now this is kind of looking like the team that I was watching earlier in the year as a 1 seed. Nice little handoff there. Pump fake, a little long. Good rebound there by the Tigers. Push. And hopefully it ends up not just being three after three after three. Attack the paint and go inside. Get their guys in foul trouble. You get Kalkenbrenner in foul trouble, it's over for Creighton. Jacob in the building. What's good? Nice crossover there. Pick and roll. And a flopping three by Auburn, which I don't like whatsoever. Terrible possession for the Tigers there. He tried to draw the defender into the foul, but that was a good no call. More of a LeBron flop, if anything. Yeah, no bailout shots, no bailout calls. And if you're Creighton here, you need to go back to what was working for you. Right, with McAndrew, the freshman, going from deep, and obviously getting your Bobby Hurley lookalike out there, and seeing what he can do. Good defense there by Auburn. Fade away, in and out, no good. Bad percentage shot by Creighton. Fast break, tipped away, and back to Auburn. We're at 14, 86 to go. Who's America's team now? That's a good question. I don't really know if we do have an America's team. I mean, Green Bay Packer fans will say it's them, but I feel like the Lions are probably more of America's team than Green Bay is, because I think there's a lot of people that really don't care for Green Bay, besides Green Bay fans, but they're not really as likable as they were when they had Brett Favre. I feel like ever since the Aaron Rodgers era and now Jordan Love, they're not as likable as they used to be, Now they're kind of like, I feel, I don't want to say that they're hated, but they're definitely disliked, by a lot. So, but I don't know if we do have an America's team, Patriots had their run, and maybe at that time they were America's team, whether people liked it or not, Lots of bandwagon Patriot fans across the United States and across the globe when Brady and Gronk and Belichick were doing their thing. Deep three, in and out, no good. Oh, nice layup. I would say for me, if I was gonna, go for America's team or fans that aren't a fan of that team but like them, I would say America's team would be like the Lions, like you said, NFC, and maybe the Buffalo Bills for the AFC. People love fucking Josh Allen, me included. I like the Lions. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like Gibbs. I like Dan Campbell. I like Goff on that team. So I feel like if we were able to get that Super Bowl, people would be torn because you literally would be rooting for both teams to win, and it would be like a damn shame on whoever lost if those teams played. It would be heartbreaking, because both teams have suffered for quite a while. Detroit more than obviously Buffalo. But when Buffalo ended up going to 4 Super Bowls and losing 4 in a row, you're never going to see that again. A team go 4 times and lose 4 times in a row. And then with the Lions just being shitty for all those years, and then now, drafting well, getting Penei Sewell, getting Dan Campbell, trading for Goff, getting Stafford to go over to the Rams, and then, drafting well, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams. Like, if you're looking at the pieces, they've been building the team the right way, kind of like Tampa as well. And, I think that's a pretty fair statement. Not everyone will agree, but I think Buffalo is more well-liked than the Chiefs. The Chiefs were well-liked early on, but when the Taylor Swift shit happened, everyone turned, and again, it went from like really rooting for this team as the underdog to the Patriots. And then again, if you're good enough, long enough, you eventually become the villain. And they have now become the villain with Taylor Swift fans and the referees, and people think there's collusion and cheating for them and all this and that. But it didn't end up winning a Super Bowl for them, even though they got bailed out on some of the calls. But I would say probably the most likable team in the AFC, probably is the Buffalo Bills, unless you're in that division and you're like a Patriot fan or a Jet fan or a Dolphin fan, then you may say no. But if you're just a fan of the NFL and not a fan of Buffalo, but like, every time they come on, are they fun? Yeah. Do they have a lot of crazy fans? Yeah. But not really in like a rude way where the fans annoy you, like the Eagles or the Saints or the Cowboys, where it's kind of like cringy, where it's like, whatever. But I feel like with Buffalo, jumping through the tables, that really doesn't bother me. Like, I'm rooting for the Bills and the Lions to win a Super Bowl. And if we can have some defensive players that get drafted and they play well, maybe we can end up getting a Lions-Bills Super Bowl next year, or in the near future. I think that would be great. 45-45, Blue Jays and Tigers. And I feel like with the, Packer fan base, they're going to have some people that are cool. But I feel like a majority of the fan base is kind of, I don't know, not for me. Free throws, free throws, free throws. Come on, Auburn. You got to make those. I don't think the Vikings are as likable as the Lions, though, And again, if you have Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, you're not going to get there. Their defense is incredible, and I'm a defensive guy. I love the defense, but offensively, it's like you got Jetta, you got Addison, you got Hawkinson, you know what I mean? But again, if you don't have the right quarterback or offensive line, you can win, 13, 14 games in the regular season and they get fucking stomped, in the playoffs. So, like, we know when Minnesota went to the playoffs, they were the Fugazi fake team that was overrated. And which is kind of sad, that you can go like 14-3 and be like a fake team, and then you just get absolutely destroyed, when you go in. So But I think Detroit and Buffalo are the two most likable teams that are good that haven't won it, obviously in quite a long time or at all. So. We're knotted up at 48. This one could go either way. Ashworth needs to step up. Same thing with McAndrews. If Creighton is going to win, it has to be a two-man game with McAndrews and Ashworth, the Bobby Hurley clone. I don't think anybody is surprised that Creighton is hanging around. They are kind of one of those teams year in and year out that, usually they're not a top seed, but they're, usually a pretty decent team. Little elbow three is good. Pick and roll. And then elbow three right there, right back at you, baby. There you go. And if you've been watching this game, it feels like Creighton has pretty much had Uncle Mo on their side for a majority of this game. Like, I don't know, Auburn doesn't look like a one seed to me. Too many mistakes and errors, and and again, if you have a player that's supposed to be a superstar, you need him to play like it. You don't want your superstar to be 2 for 9 with 4 points. That's not going to get it done. Foul on Broom. But just the eye test, it seems like Florida and Duke are a little bit better based off the eye test. But again, let's wait and see if Auburn actually advances past Creighton, and then we'll go from there. But it's like I'm not really sure if they have somebody they can lean on when the going gets tough. You can already tell where Creighton has 3 guys they can lean on: Kalkenbrenner, Ashworth, and the freshman, McAndrew. But who can you rely on Auburn when things are going tough? Is it Baker? It might have to be in this game. He's got 15, but. $50-51, Auburn up by 1. Floater, and there you go. All right, Chad, you might be the guy that has to lead this team to victory. You're the one that's kind of breaking out here from Auburn. 6'7", 180. Pretty thin. Averaging about 12 a game, but in this particular matchup, he's pacing for 20 to 25. He's at 15 now. Free throw is good. See if we get a little pick and roll action here from Creighton. But again, I had a feeling that this would be a good matchup, and that's why we're here today. Nice steal there from that cross-court pass from Creighton. Can't do that. Let's see if Auburn can attack. Stop settling for deep shots and attack the paint. You're an inside team. Act like it. You don't need to try to be an outside team like Creighton. Make them pay. Go inside. There you go. There you go. That's what a number 1 seed does. There you go. Uh-oh, is he hurt? Little hip pointer. Baker Mazar, little hip pointer. Get up, my guy. Yeah, that was on socials last night. Rest in peace, George Foreman. Yeah, I reposted a couple posts on that. Mike Tyson's post about George Foreman, and then another one. Free throw is good. SEC Player of the Year. Not looking like it here today, but thankfully for Broom, you got Baker Mazar and you got Jones that are in double figures there. So at least you got someone else that can step up, but that's concerning. And Baker Mazar, he might have to exit the game. 17 points. It looks like he's got a hip pointer. Because typically when you get a hip pointer, you might be able to fight through it initially, but those nerves are going to get hit. And then as soon as he takes a few steps past half court, he goes straight to the ground. And even though he may not come back this game, he's given them enough oomph in the second half where if they play smart ball, now being up by 8, they can start to pull away. We'll see what Creighton can do to battle back here. They have to be smart. Ashworth with the layup, no good. Need a little bit more touch there, Bobby Hurley. 12 minutes to go. Auburn starting to pull away. And this is a very crucial stretch for Creighton if they want to kind of stay close with the Tigers. Ooh. And then right when they needed someone else to step up to get to double digits, Jones with the 3. 58-50 Tigers. Every possession counts the rest of the way out here. Air ball by Creighton. Can't do that. Nice step back 3 from Jones. And again, this will be very critical for the Blue Jays if they want to keep it close. Otherwise, this 8-point lead will turn into 10, then go to 12, and then it'll get out of hand and they won't be able to come back. Nice pass. Whoa, with the flush. Wow. Cardwell, baby. Who would have thought that he'd have more of an impact than Janai Broom, huh? Cardwell. Go up, big fella. 58-50. Nice job, Auburn. But they have to be blessed right now that, SEC Player of the Year having a shitty game, and they're up by 8 right now. So, again, getting bailed out. But, again, we'll see if Creighton can get on a little bit of a run, but it may be too little too late, especially down by 8 if they start chasing the scoreboard and just throwing up 3 after 3 after 3. Creighton's going to have to attack the paint as well. Slow the game down and try to get some of their guys in foul trouble. But we'll see if Baker Mazar ends up coming back. He was their hot hand, and if he's got a hip pointer and that's what it's diagnosed, he's not coming back. But we'll see if they give him a shot or give him treatment, and maybe he'll be able to get back in the game. But usually with that, the nerves are going to be way too painful, and every step you take, it's like someone poking you in the hip with needles. So prayers up for Baker Mazar. I hope he comes back, but at least Jones is stepping up in his absence, and hopefully Broom can finish the game on a good note and be a little bit better than he was at the beginning of the game. Yeah, 9 boards, but I mean, imagine if Cooper Flagg had a game like this. It would not be acceptable, and we got to hold the superstars to the same standard. Cooper Flagg ends up having a game where he's 2 for 9 and 4 points. We're going to be ripping him too. So, I mean, for a regular player, that's fine, but for, arguably one of the best players in the country, that's unacceptable. SEC Player of the Year, 4 points, 9 boards, that's terrible. I mean, the boards is good, but 4 points, 2 for 9 shooting, that is not good. That being said, you still got an 8-point lead, so you got to be happy about that. Your best player is not having a good game, maybe one of the worst games of the season. But again, if you get the dub, that's all that matters. And then you'll see what you can do against Michigan in the next round. I think tomorrow's slate is going to be a little bit better matchup-wise. UConn and Florida, Baylor and Duke, Illinois and Kentucky, St. Mary's and Alabama, Colorado State, Maryland, which should be a blowout, Ole Miss, Iowa State, New Mexico, Michigan State, and then Oregon, Arizona should light it up. That should be a really good game. Oregon a 5 seed, Arizona a 4 seed, and we've had rivalry with them for years and years and years. So 11 from 19 from deep, 7 for 17 from deep for Auburn. Look at the points in the paint, 30-12, and second chance points, 19-6. And again, McAndrew and Ashworth have been quiet this half. They need to start, working together here with Kalkenbrenner. It has to be that trio for Creighton to be able to get the Blue Jays to keep it a little bit closer, to put the pressure on the Tigers. And it looks like the defense, as far as outside, has been a little bit better. Nice dunk there from Kalkenbrenner. 58-52 Tigers. Push off, offensive foul. Can't do that, Auburn. Can't do that, Bots. All right, let's look at some of the other scores that we got in some of the other sports. We got Hawks 88, Warriors 72. Knicks up by 10 over the Wizards, 31-21. Pacers 108-103 final over the Nets. Later tonight, you got the Bucks and the Kings and the Bulls and the Lakers. Got a lot of finals in the NHL. Avs up on the Canadiens 3-1. Senators up 3-1 on the Devils. Maple Leafs and Preds knotted up at 2. Red Wings up 1-0 against the Golden Knights. And then we have a couple finals. 5-3 final. Rangers over the Canucks. Stars up 3-2 over the Flyers in OT. Wild beating the Sabres 4-1. Blues beating the Blackhawks 4-1. I know you like that, Sarah. Flames beating the Islanders 4-3 in OT. Kings scoring 7 over the Hurricanes, 7-2 final. Caps 6-3 over the Panthers. Utah Hockey Club beating the Lightning 6-4. That's surprising. And then the Kraken and Oilers are coming up here in about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know what the chances of the Kraken are against the Oilers. Not very good, but you never know. And then you got the Bruins and the Sharks later on tonight as well. BYU 18, Wisconsin 14. And then obviously with the finals, Arkansas beating St. John's. 10 seed beating a 2 seed, 75-66. Texas Tech beating Drake, 77-64. No surprises there. Purdue beating McNeese after they had their little, good feeling story in the first round, getting smashed in the next round. Michigan beating A&M, 91-79. And then again, we have 2 more games. Gonzaga and Houston about to tip off now. And then UCLA, Tennessee in about an hour. And I think Gonzaga-Houston will be a very close one. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they suck. I mean, in the Pacific, they're third, and we're second to last. So I don't know if I would use the word suck for Edmonton. I mean, it's Vegas, LA, Edmonton in the top 3, then Calgary, then Vancouver, then Anaheim, then the Kraken, then San Jose. So I'm not sure if I would use the word suck for Edmonton, but I mean, they're better than us, but we'll see what happens. It would be awesome to be able to get a dub against them, but I'm not sure if that's possible. (62-54) Auburn. Nice little layup there. And they're really going heavy to Kalkenbrenner. Can't forget about Ashworth and McAndrew, though. Floater is good. Jones with 12. 4-7 shooting for Jones. Little pick and roll. Ashworth for a deep 3. I don't like that shot at all. And right now, Creighton, the Blue Jays, are playing a little desperation ball. They need to be smarter with these possessions. All right, Chad is going back to the locker room. I don't know if they're going to try to give him some more treatment, but anytime you have a hip bruise or a hip pointer, it doesn't feel good. But it looks like Chad is a warrior. He's going to try to, get loose. We'll see if he's gets back in the game at some point or another, but it wouldn't shock me if he's out for the rest of the game. Too much pain. I mean, unless you end up having like some, Advil or Tylenol that you can take, and it ends up acting pretty quick. And, with maybe like 3 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go, he might be able to get in. Nice floater, but they may not need him if they keep making shots like that. 62-54 Tigers. We're about halfway through here the second half. Auburn in full control. Reach and foul. Nice flush. Yeah, well, for the Mariners, our goal should be winning the division. Again, with the moves that the Astros and the Rangers have made, and, we know that the A's are going to be better. Angels are going to be terrible, but the A's should be better. Like, this should be, some competition this year, but, if we can actually hit like we did in, spring training, we should be able to have a good chance to win 90 games. And if we don't win the division and it ends up being the Astros or the Rangers, then we got to shoot for 88 or 89 wins and get a wild card. And, just trying to get into the dance. Chennai Broom all over Kalkenbrenner there. But for a good majority of spring training, we were one of the top 2 teams in hitting. So hopefully that'll carry over during the regular season. And obviously the pitching staff is one of the best, but we're not going to have George Kirby for the first couple weeks, and that may hurt us. And I don't like the rotation that they have where Wilson, is going to go Logan Gilbert 1, Luis Castillo 2, Bryce Miller 3, Brian Wu 4, Emerson Hancock 5, which is ridiculous. Castillo should be the 4, right? Wu should be the 2, or Miller, but I don't know why we keep giving Castillo the benefit of the doubt of being either the starting pitcher on opening day or being the 2, because in reality, he should be the 5. The only one that he's better than is Hancock. But, coulda, woulda, shoulda. We'll see if Wilson ends up changing that as the year goes on. But, Wu is arguably one of the best on the team. If you still think he's 4th or 5th, you're blind. And same thing with Miller. I think Miller and Wu are going to have great years. And it might be a little bit of an off year for Kirby, and Hancock isn't good enough to be on the roster. I think Mariners have a very good chance this year. Because normally when we don't make the playoffs, we miss it by only like a game or 2. The really only injury that we have that's going to be important to us early in the season for the first 2 weeks is Kirby. But, if we can hit, we should be able to, find a way to, start off the season pretty strong. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But 88 to 90 wins, should be the goal. Again, there's 162 games, so it's not like we're getting greedy and saying, oh, Mariners are going to win 100 and then only lose 62. We're not the fucking Dodgers, we're not them, so you have to know who you are. And, hopefully we can get good production, out of our outfield with Robles and Julio and Arozarena. But I'm not worried about those guys. I'm worried about first base, second base, third base, and shortstop, offensively and defensively. Everything else is money. Outfield is money. Pitchers are money. Catcher, Cal Raleigh's money. It's really the other guys. Like, hopefully Luke Raley will play well at first, but, Dylan Moore, J.P. Crawford, Jorge Polanco, I don't know. We'll see. Some of the farm guys might get called up sooner than later. 64-54, Auburn starting to pull away here. Less than 9 minutes to go, and Creighton's got to be very smart if they want to get back into this. No dumb shots. Every possession matters. Bad shot selection. And Creighton's falling apart. You know, they were really hot from deep, and that was what gave them the lead in the first half. But now they're not able to shoot threes. And the defense has gotten a little bit tighter. Credit to Bruce Pearl and the Tigers. And again, you need to be going down low and slowing the game down. Getting Auburn in foul trouble and slowing, the game down and stopping the clock and getting to the free throw line. And at this point in the game, you don't really need to be taking too many threes the rest of the way. Here and there, if it's an open look, take it. But with this type of lead, if you just keep attacking the paint, Creighton's not going to have an answer. But if it wasn't for Baker Mazza, giving you that little hot streak when Broom was kind of ineffective on the bench, this game would be much closer. It probably would be like a 2 to 4 point game right now. So nice production for Baker Mazza and Jones filling in for Broom. And another shot. Bang! Pettiford, I see you. And again, if you're going to be taking, a little hook shots down low, you got to make sure you have a couple guys down there rebounding. And, if you don't have anybody down there, and there's 4 Auburn Tigers, what do you think is going to happen? It's not like they're going to, take it away from each other and turn the ball over. Auburn's in full control. They're not going to lose this game now. You can already tell the way the Uncle Mo and the momentum in this game. Everything going the Tigers' way. Uh-oh, Cardwell's got something. Uh-oh, has hammy. Looks like Cardwell's okay. He said, my neck, my back, my heart, my hamstring, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Maybe a little cramp there, too. He's cramping. Yeah, he's got some shoulder inflammation, so. Yeah. And again, he's one of our aces. He's a guy that could be an all-star, type of player like Logan Gilbert. Those guys were kind of noted as being our best. But again, Bryce Miller and Brian Wu are improving, and they're getting close to being on the Kirby Gilbert level. And this might be the season where you see Wu and Bryce Miller may have just as good of a record as those guys, or maybe even better. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. I mean, one thing is for sure, we don't trust Luis Castillo. We don't trust Emerson Hancock, but everyone else, we're good to go. We love Logan Gilbert. We love George Kirby. We love Brian Wu. We love Bryce Miller. Those guys for sure are it. And, at some point, we do need someone better than Emerson Hancock at the 5. If we could ever get Durangelo, or someone that we drafted or that's in the farm that we could end up bringing up, that would be great. But, realistically, a guy that can pitch from the left side and the right side is not going to be a starting pitcher. He'll probably be like a reliever, like a mid-reliever, a guy that would come in the 6th or 7th inning, since we already have guys that are pretty much slated to be in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. For Brash, and then Santos, and obviously Munoz. So we'll see where it goes. But, bullpen looks good. Pitching staff looks good. Catching, obviously, with Cal Raleigh, amazing. He definitely got, not enough recognition last year, but sometimes you need to make the playoffs to get more recognition. You can definitely tell a majority of the country does not watch the Mariners. And again, as far as hitting, we got to be better than batting 220. 200 to 220 as a team. If we could just get it to 240, 250 as a team, that could end up giving us 5 to 10 extra wins. And that's what we need. 66-54 Auburn. This game was much closer in the first half, but I don't see anything based on what Creighton has done in the second half, that shows me that they're going to win this game. They played good in that first half. Auburn made the adjustments. Creighton did not. And now you have a 12-point lead that could escalate here very quickly. Yeah, Hancock stinks. He's terrible. But again, you have to have someone out there to fill in for Kirby for the first 2 weeks. But I don't like Hancock at all. He definitely needs to be a guy that's in AAA, but we have to see how the rest of the guys progress so we can maybe have someone better than him at some point. And I don't like Castillo either, if I'm being honest, because his numbers are getting worse and worse and worse every year. I can't trust him either. So I don't, I trust, most of the guys, but I definitely don't trust Castillo or Hancock. But Gilbert, Kirby, Wu, and Miller, hell yeah, I trust them. And I know they're going to get fucked up from time to time, but every pitcher gets fucked up. Even Skeens, Sale, and Screwball get fucked up from time to time. It happens, right? 66, 54. And again, if you're Bruce Pearl, right, you can kind of start bleeding the clock a little bit, looking for a good possession. Creighton now is kind of playing, like a chicken with their head cut off, and they can feel the game slipping away. And again, I just really don't see the energy or the fire out of the Blue Jays as I did in the first half. McAndrew and Ashworth haven't even scored in this half. And again, they put up 12 and 11 in the first, and that was a big part of having the 2-point lead. So if you ended up having a couple buckets from Ashworth and McAndrew, then maybe, this is like a 2 to 4 point game. But you're starting to see Auburn slowly but surely pull away. And I'm happy Auburn is going to win this because, again, you don't want a 1 seed losing this early, I preferably like, as far as like Sale, Screwball, and Skeens, I like Screwball and Skeens more than Sale. But I think Sale's a damn good pitcher when he's healthy. But I prefer Skeens and Screwball. Just watching them. Is that turnover? They're discussing it. Yeah, I think it went off Broom as well. Creighton ball. And again, when you're down by this much, your first inclination is like, I got to shoot a three. I got to shoot a three. I got to shoot a three. But the problem is when you're down by 12 and you're not hot anymore and you start shooting threes, and on the other side, they start making easy buckets, then they keep adding on to the lead. And then all of a sudden, a 12-point lead, you miss a three, then it's a 14-point lead. Then you shoot another three and miss, and then it's a 16-point lead. Then you shoot another three, and then they shoot a three, and they make it. And then you're down 19, and then the game's fucking over. It already feels like it's over. Like, I don't really feel that Creighton is going to have a run here late. And Auburn is known for their defense, and they're known for being an interior team. So, again, it may come down to them at some point in the last 3 minutes with a dagger three where they don't really need to shoot it, but they just shoot it to kind of end it. That wouldn't surprise me either. So, all right, take care. Free throw is good. And then tomorrow we'll be doing the NASCAR Cup Series. And it'll be at noon. They're at Homestead. Kyle Larson winning the trucks after getting wrecked on lap 45 and finding his way all the way to the front and leading a bajillion laps here today in the Xfinity Series, but caution at the very end of the race and didn't have a good restart. And Justin Allgaier ended up getting the dub for his first back-to-back wins of this year. Junior Motorsports, baby. Steal by Auburn. Yeah, this one's over. Now it's just like pretty much just dribbling, bleeding the clock. It's just like in college football when you have like a lead in the second half by like a touchdown. When you have a lead in the second half and you're a good team, what do? You run the ball and you bleed the clock. And the same type of instincts you're going to have in college basketball. You're going to want to make sure you're looking for the best shot possible, but never rush anything, especially when you're up by 14. Yeah, Austin Hill fucked up everything. That was a race that, I'm happy that our guy Allgaier won, because he was in the back for a majority and then found his way to the front. But, I feel for Kyle because he was so good. I mean, he led over 120 laps, like 100 and bajillion laps, and he led almost every lap in that race. And then to have it end that way, but it shows you when you're in the lead and a caution comes late, it's your worst fucking nightmare. Even if your car is good, you just don't know how your restart is going to be. Airball there, turnover, Tigers. I mean, you could argue that Scooball is the best pitcher in the game, if we're really being honest. Like, Sale is good, Skeens is a phenom, but obviously rookie. Let's see what he does in his sophomore year, right? We assume that he'll be great as well, right? But something about lefties, man, and Sale and Scooball being lefty, and Skeens being a righty, and but I think Skeens and Scooball, as far as my favorite pitchers that aren't on the Mariners, it's those two by a landslide. But it's not like I don't think that Sale is good or like when Garrett Cole, when he doesn't have a season-ending injury, he's one of the top 5 pitchers typically. So, but it just kind of depends on your style and what you like. And then obviously when Kirby and Gilbert are healthy, they're top 10 pitchers also. So, fast break. There's the flush. There you go. Nice little run here. 68-61. And let's see what they do, if they call it four-court press, or now Bruce Pearl's like, fuck that. I got to stop the bleeding. Great timeout there by Bruce Pearl. Stop that bleeding when you start to see the momentum going from one sideline to the next. But definitely enjoyed watching the Xfinity race. It was good. And I'm excited for tomorrow. Should be a fun one. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. The faster that we can get to a good number, you never know what we can get with the algorithm. We need 7 more to get to 20. If you are in the room and haven't done it, please do. Now we're at 14, 6 more to go. And these bots are just out of control when I stream. Fuck out of here. Well, Verdugo was the only player that wasn't signed. That was kind of a notable name. So obviously, a lot of people don't believe that he's good anymore. Otherwise he would have been signed months ago. But hopefully this will give him a little bit of a rebirth. From going from Boston to the Yankees, and now going to another good team with the Atlanta Braves, and hopefully he'll be able to be an asset, not a liability. BYU up 38-27 on Wisconsin. That might surprise some of y'all, BYU being a 6 seed. And then Houston up 17-8 against Gonzaga. That one should be relatively close at some point in the game. You would assume Houston will win, but we'll see if Gonzaga makes it challenging. Appreciate that, man. It took me a while to be able to find images of players for college basketball. It's not like I have a bunch of them saved on my computer from the past. And when I have to be able to create them on my own, it's not easy. People think, you just go to Photoshop, find any photo, and then you click on the image, and then it takes away the background, and then that's it. No, it doesn't work like that. Like when you end up having an image, you have to be able to try to find a certain colored background to make it easier to be able to transfer over. And then I use Super Photo Cut. And then, once you bring the image over, you got to be able to shape it. And then sometimes, the half of the arm is missing or something is distorted. And then you have to find another photo and start over. So sometimes it's a little bit more challenging, to be able to find something that will work. But it definitely isn't easy for sure. But I'm definitely happy with the way that the thumbnail game has been here on the channel. Appreciate that, Captain. I mean, I was just going to do 2 big logos and whatnot, but I was like, all right, I got time. Let's see if I can actually get images, for the best players on Creighton and Auburn. And it took a while, but nice. Chad back in the game. He's at 17. He only needs 3 more to hit 20. I mean, they don't really need him, if we're being honest. But again, it's a nice weapon to get in there to try to put the nail in the coffin and close that door shut. But Auburn is not losing. 100% they're winning this game. There is no chance Creighton will win. 0. But in the first half, it was a different story. There you go, Broom. Wasn't pretty, but it's good. And Broom's going to have a chance to get into double digits. He's got 8. He needs 1 more bucket to get to 10. 4 for 13 shooting is atrocious, but at least his teammates helped him out here today. Like Baker Mazza and Jones. And again, now if Ashworth and McAndrew were able to, make threes and penetrate and kick, this would be a lot closer of a game, but those guys have been absolutely shut down in the second half. Ashworth and McAndrew have scored 0 in the second half, both of them, after McAndrew had 12 and Ashworth 11 in the first. Floater is good. Bedford. Splitting the defense. Pettiford with the left. I love me some lefties. He said bye-bye. And I'm happy that Auburn, finally found a way to look like a number 1 team. Because in the first half, you could have said maybe Creighton's the number 1 team. They look like a better team in the first half. But again, after some of the adjustments, and again, shutting down the guys that were hot, right? And, playing better defense and, better shot selection. And now Auburn pulling away and obviously looking like a number 1 team in the second half. Now we just have to wait for Auburn to play a great, first half and second half and blow a team out by 20 to 30. I mean, at some point, that's what we're looking, for some of these top seeds. Duke, Florida, Auburn, regardless if you're a 1 or a 2 or a 3 seed, we want to see some domination in the tourney. .230 to go here. Auburn about to punch their ticket against Michigan. And again, I feel Michigan will play the same way against Auburn. They're going to punch them in the mouth. They're going to fight early, and then Auburn will pull away in the second half, more than likely. But I think it will be very competitive in that first half with Michigan. But again, the same type of scenario I feel that you're going to get in this game as well. Very close. Maybe Michigan even up at halftime by 2 or 3, and then Auburn does what Auburn does in the second half, and they get the job done. But great coaching by Bruce Pearl, but really MVP of the game, Baker Mazur, getting that shit done, especially when Janai Broom didn't really play very well here today. But good team defense, good rebounding. Zugic there, drawing the foul. Stopping the clock, always key. Do you wish Trey was still on your team? $72-65 Auburn. And then tomorrow's slate, again, I'm going to be doing the NASCAR Cup Series, but I will be watching Florida at 9 a.m., Duke at 11:40, Kentucky at 2, Bama at 3, and then obviously Oregon and Arizona. If I wasn't doing the NASCAR Cup, that would be the stream that I would be doing tomorrow. And I guess it just depends on how I feel. It'd be a long fucking day, doing NASCAR Cup for, 3-4 hours and then getting like an hour break and then doing another stream for 2 hours or 3 hours. But I think Oregon-Arizona is going to be very competitive. Arizona should be favored, but I think Oregon will fight, and you never know. If Oregon plays good with Biddle, we have a chance. But Arizona definitely should be favored tomorrow night, but who knows? Maybe Oregon can get the upset. Green fouled out. I like Oregon's chances. I really do. You know, if you watched how they played against Liberty, you know, again, we're pretty solid. Arizona, though, they're pretty solid too. I mean, there's a reason why, you know, we got a 4 and a 5 seed going at it. But, you know, we've had a rivalry with them back when it was like the Pac-10. And, you know, I have memories on Arizona and Oregon that I still have on VHS when they had like Miles Bibby and or Mike Bibby and Miles Simon. And, you know, when they had their little run, you know, back in the day when Arizona was king. Dickerson, Michael Dickerson. I don't even know how I remember that name, but I have a lot of those old school games still on tape. Vince Carter and Rasheed Wallace on North Carolina, all that stuff from back in the day. But Mike Bibby, Miles Simon, Michael Dickerson, they were solid. Free throw rolls in and good. Yeah, if I have enough energy after the NASCAR Cup Series, I'll see how I feel and stuff. But I'm going to try, you know. But we'll see how long, you know, the Cup Series goes for. Because I imagine it will be from like 12 to 3 or 12 to 4, and then that Oregon game is a little bit later. It's at 6:40, so. I know, but I still got to take care of Paisley too. So, but if I don't stream it, best believe you know I'll be watching. Creighton team needs a 3 desperately. Nice dunk down low. 74-67 with about 2 minutes to go. Oh, Lute was great. Hall of Fame. Lute was incredible. That's when we had like Ernie Kent and Lute Olson would go at it back in the day. And obviously we have Dana Altman now. So Oregon's always had, you know, pretty good coaching for basketball and football. But definitely some intriguing matchups tomorrow. You know, some of the bigger teams are playing. Florida, Duke, you know, those are going to be big. But I like that Oregon, Arizona. I feel that's a very good matchup, a 5 and a 4. Michigan State, New Mexico, Iowa State, Ole Miss, Maryland, Colorado State, Bama, St. Mary's. You know, not as much excitement. Illinois, Kentucky, you know, but I know Florida and Duke being on at 9 and 11. I'll be tuning into that for sure. All right, here, let's see how smart the Tigers are and Bruce Pearl. Half-court trap. But all you got to do is just play smart basketball and, you know, don't dribble off your own leg and don't take some stupid-ass 3. You know, as long as you play smart ball, the game's over. Nice rebound by Kalkenbrenner there. Free throws are good, slowing the game down for Creighton, and they're going to end up getting closer, you know, into this matchup. They might end up even only losing this game by like 6 points, but they're not going to win. Even with a couple lucky shots late, Auburn wins by a minimum of 4 or more. Kalkenbrenner with the free throw. much better second half for Auburn with 42 in the second half. 1 out of 2 there. Got to make your free throws. Sweet 16. They can smell it. And I feel like with Auburn and every top seed, Florida and Duke, as long as you don't get overconfident, as the seed, play your game. And as long as you play your game, you're going to be fine. And one. Beautiful. This game is over. Britt in the building. How are you? Miss you. It's my girl, Britt. What's going on, Britt? Did you get a chance to watch the trucks or the Xfinity race? Or have you been busy this weekend? Free throws good? I don't know. It's beautiful. Good body control. And then, hitting that sweet spot. But that was kind of a nail in the coffin. And now desperation threes is pretty much what you're going to get. And again, great first half, for Creighton. But again, you needed to have your best players, McAndrew and Ashworth and Kalkenbrenner, dominate the second half like they dominated the first half, and they weren't able to. And that's because Auburn's defense stepped up big and prevented McAndrew and Ashworth from taking over the game. So salute to them. Oh, nice. What did you guys do for the birthday party? Did you guys go somewhere? I know he likes the free sundae from Red Robin every year, which every kid would love to get a freebie like that for their birthday. And I know you did that a few days back on his birthday. Ooh, bowling. And obviously you're home now. I assume you're not still at the bowling rink and whatnot. Are you a good bowler, Brett? Oh, big three rejected. And as you can see now, Auburn, they know it's over now. 81-70 Tigers. Oh, sorry to hear that. Brett needs some love from Orion to make things better. Headache gone away. 79-68 Tigers. 81-70 Tigers. Oh, you didn't bowl, just the kids did? Do they have like video games at this bowling alley as well, or is it just strictly bowling? Free throw is good. Ashworth with the layup there. Full court press, backfires, and a reach and foul. 10 kids, all under 10. Sounds like a headache waiting to happen. And I imagine that's why you got the headache. Was it only you chaperoning? Just you? Oh, nice. You gonna be able to watch the race tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be live at noon. I'm not sure if you'll be able to stop by and hang out with us for a little bit, but if you could, that would be awesome. But if you got other things going on, I understand. Well, look at you. You're like a super mom, huh? Trying to make things great for your son's birthday. Salute. And those memories that you make for him early on, stuff that you end up remembering from when you're like 5 to 12 years old, 5 to 13 years old, it ends up being pretty special. I know some of my, fondest memories are from when I was like 5 to 12, 5 to 13. So, and that is it. Final score, Auburn Tigers 82, Creighton Bluejays 70. But again, remember, it was 37-35 Creighton at half, and a great second half, 47 points to 33 Auburn over Creighton in that second half. That's a much different story, and they flipped the script on them. Nice job. That man can finally take a sigh of relief and feel a little bit better. Heck yeah, man. I did this one for you, my guy. Congrats. Yeah, you're a busy lady. You're a busy woman. Yeah, you do. But it's always great to be able to see you and talk to you. You know how I feel about you, so. 82-70 Auburn. We'll be live tomorrow for Homestead there in Miami. That'll be at noon for the NASCAR Cup Series. I don't know if I'll have the energy to do Oregon and Arizona later on that night, but we will be doing NASCAR Cup Series. I got to go take Paisley here on another long walk and spend some time with her. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to STL, David, and Sarah for helping out on the dono side as well. And hopefully I can get some of y'all to come through and hang out with me tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series there in Miami for Homestead around noon tomorrow. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. Love ya, and I'm out. Okay.